Trying to relate Joshua's experience to ours. He went into the area of the Amorites, and we're talking about the sun god and the mountain god, the river god, all had different names and all had different attributes, and each, small groups worshipped each one in their unique way. And they got to choose. And they chose based on the God who had walked with them, had set them free, who had saved them from the Egyptians. And again, this is so powerful a thing to look at our own history. I hope all of you have come so far in your relationship with God that you can't go back, that you know what you have. You know what God has done for you. And when hard times come, those memories will sustain you and keep you moving forward, despite the time that might be suffering. Now, none of us, I think, encounter these gods named as gods. They dress up, and sometimes they're very wonderful things. You've come to this university to study, and study you should. That's your first job. But I think there might be one or two of you who could overdo it. Just one or two of you who get so caught up in the studying that you can't see anything else. And that becomes a god. And it shouldn't. It's just one of the things. A major thing, yes. But that cannot be the only thing that happens to you while you're here at this university. Many of you will find new friends and form firm friendships for the rest of your lives. That is important and part of why you are here. But that cannot become a god. That cannot become your focus. There's more. Your life is like a balance, a mobile that kind of hangs out there. And if you got your intellectual life, your social life, and your spiritual life in balance, everything's going to be fine. But once you stray and you start putting all your stuff in academics or all your stuff in your friends or all your stuff over here, then you get out of balance. And you have a word for it. And it's called stress. Oh, gosh, I am so stressed. I just don't, God, that word must be spoken in these hallowed halls 1,000,000 times. Oh, if you just knew the stress I had. Yeah, I can imagine, because you're out of balance. Find your balance. Everything fits. Everything fits. And Chris told you at the very beginning, and this is a good place to come to find how best it might fit, because there are people here. You guys here, that's the key. You learn so much from each other. Continue to come and learn from each other how to balance your lives. Now, Paul is trying to address the men, not the women. If there's a problem in these times, I can guarantee you it's not with the women, okay? I can guarantee you that. The problem is with the men and how they treated their wives. Love your wives as if they are your own body. The first thing that is sacrificed in any real relationship is ego. That royal ego that we all have, that royal self that demands my way. And if you are in a real relationship, if you are married, that is the first to go. You cannot ride that horse at all. And I think that's all Paul's trying to tell us. And those words were extraordinary words for his time. They had not been spoken before. Today we might read them and think, well, I can pick this apart, and we could. But the whole of what he says is important. And finally, we come to the gospel. And I think that question is just really powerful. Lord, where else can we go? Where else can we go? And so when we come back to that word stress again, I think that spiritual aspect of our lives is the first place we need to go to try and find the balance. It reminds us that we are powerless. And there's nothing more egocentric and powerful than a bunch of college kids. Okay, I'm sorry. You know, I'm bad myself, but you guys, come on. You know, you can't do everything, okay? And sometimes you've got to surrender to the fact that you are powerless. And that's a spiritual process. And that's what our relationship with Christ is all about. To be able to give that up, that demand to be able to control whatever happens. And we could pick apart if we wanted to, and part of what we do at this university is to make people think. A thoughtful believer is a true believer. Someone who doesn't think about what's going on isn't in the process at all. It's just a magic act. You know, this university will do wonderful things for you that you can process over here and come to a deeper, more profound understanding of who you are as human beings, who you are as children of God, and who you are with each other. Chris said it, I think, very well. This could be, and I have an energy in me right now that says this can be a wonderful year. But you gotta do it, you know. We're going to ask you after Mass to sign up to do different things, to be part of this community. And you know what? I can sit and think all I want, but it's not till I do something that it takes real meaning in my life. You know, come up and read. We had 2 wonderful readers just now. Come up and help us with communion. It's so nice to see different readers come up every week, you know, a different face. You know, there's one that I say, she is an excellent reader over here. Every time I see her come up, I just have to smile because she does so well. You know, and I recognize that. And those who come up for communion are truly ministers of Christ. They are the hands of Christ. And you can be part of that. Get rid of your ego. Get rid of the only reason you don't come up here is because you think people will be staring at you and judging you. Come on. I used to feel that way when I was 12 and serving Mass. We're no longer 12. Okay? Be a part. Be a part of what can draw you into a deeper understanding of yourself and God.